Hello, this is Melissa with The Creative Season. Welcome back to another episode on our YouTube channel, and we today are going to look at painting patterns of just fun flowers. So I'm just going to show you some of the flowers I've been creating. You know, sometimes we run into a situation or we're just not sure what to paint. I know that happens to me a lot. I was going through this recently and I thought, you know what, I just want to paint just lots and lots of flowers, and this can be really a lot of fun to do in the summertime. So I thought I would just show you some of the flowers that I use. Let me back this up a bit. When I am wanting to just create some doodling, and it's really fun. You can see in this one I had mostly pink and then a pink background, and it's really fun to do like a monochromatic view, right, of the flowers. So we're going to do that today, and I'm just going to start because you can actually spend quite a bit of time, come a little closer here, doodling and just taking your time and creating these really lovely flowers. So I'm going to just sketch out, it's fun to do it on a large piece of paper, but I thought for the sake of time I was going to do almost my take on kind of a peony. It's a real simple one where I have the leaves, I have those inside swirls, and I'm going to do one over here. Sometimes I'll go throughout the whole painting and just paint as I sketch and paint freehand, and sometimes I like to plan it out a bit. So it just depends how you're feeling. I know some days we want more structure, right, than others. If you want that sense of accomplishment, you're going to want to for sure choose a smaller paper. But if you want something that you can do over a couple of hours or even a couple of days and just come back and work on it, choose a larger piece of paper. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead on this one too. Is one of those quote-unquote florals. Is I'm going to go ahead and sketch out a leaf, an overhanging of leaves, which I think does a really nice job of centering things, right? And I'm going to do one here and create a leaf on top. And you know, it's fun to do leaf studies as well. You could even do all leaves, but we're going to do just using them more as an umbrella. So I've got peonies here, or my slash peony slash lilies. They could be a couple different things, right? It's fun sometimes to make up flowers. Also, I have just been snapping different flowers on my walks and taking pictures of them, and that can be a lot of fun, making sure you can see that, because I know my sketching can be a little bit faint. Let me scoot this over, and you can see too, I'm going to do one of those really small, they almost look like daisies, but they're just not even bigger than the tip of my finger. And those are a lot of fun. So the idea is to create lots of patterns, right? Lots of patterns all with flowers. And then we'll start painting them. And then I'll show you on the other one some other ideas. You'll notice all these flowers here all have rounded edges, and we could certainly do more pointy edges. That would give us a whole another look, right? So I get some of those in there, and then maybe I say, you know what, maybe I want to do a tulip. So I'll even create a tulip in here and put some tulips down. So we've really got 1, 2, 3, 4 different things now. And we'll put a tulip over here as well. Tulips are such graceful flowers. They've got those just defining stems, right? So I've got a tulip over here. And then too, I'm thinking I might want more of like a little bit more of a larger, almost like one of those Gerber daisies. And we'll use, or a sunflower-esque flower. And so I'm going to do pointy stems, right, on the tips of my petals, and then a larger face right here. So just even changing the size of the faces that we're doing, that can just create a whole nother look. If you wanted to leave all the stems off, you could. You certainly could. But what I'll do too is as I start putting paint on, then I can really take a look at going, okay, how much space is all of these different flowers taking up? And so I am going to go ahead, I am going to start with some pink on this one, and on the other side, I'm going to do a different color. So making my pink over here, and I just kind of start laying down color. And again, with those peonies, I'm creating that sense of a bulb and the layers on the inside by making sure I'm leaving some white inside to catch the light. And over here, this one's tilted, right? Even by changing the shape of the flower or how it's facing, that really can create a different sense of what the kind of flower is. Make sure not to leave some white so that you really get the sense of the color is dancing and the light is reflecting off of it. And again, if you want a lot of doodling, just do larger paper. That will really create a different look, just like how I had created on my other one. And then I'm gonna grab, we've got those peonies there, and I'm thinking too, I am going to, for my tulips, I'm gonna get I've got a mauve, a magenta here. So I'll grab the magenta, and this is a darker color. We'll just do different shades of pink and purple on this one. And I'll kind of just start again, laying down paint here. I'm not gonna do the background till the very, very end, until it's completely dry, because I don't want my paint to be all over the place. Now I think really I can do another one. I think I'm gonna do one right up here. And I'm just gonna add this in as I'm looking at, I want it to feel really full and just a little bit crowded. I don't mind a little bit of crowding, and I want a third petal on there. And of course we can always add in different shading and different sketching over it, right? I'm gonna get a bit of yellow because I do want a little bit of contrast in here. Oh, and you see I got some mauve in that yellow. So I had used this palette for a painting party, so I don't want to waste any paint. I'm trying to use it up as well. And I think over here I'm going to dab in some yellow in the center of this one, and I'm going to create one down here too. And I'm not going to sketch this one, so I'll let that yellow blend in there. And you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and put some yellow underneath on the bottom of this stem and this one as well, and then I'll do the green over it while I'm waiting for some of my pink to dry. So I'll grab the green, and this is a fun way to really get a blend of color and to let the watercolor dance without feeling like I need to do all the directions. So I just go ahead and let that color paint blend in there, and you can see it starts swimming around. I don't even have to do a lot of work. This is definitely, if you're desiring to be a little bit less structured, right? And moving that over here and letting that color just dance around. And you could always go the opposite, where you set the green down first and then add the yellow. But since I had yellow in my brush, I thought I would just go ahead and add it in. And I'll let some of this go too. I don't feel the need to put the green everywhere. We'll let this dance. I'm going to go ahead and put some of the green over here in my tulip and in the beautiful stems that is dancing and just kind of elegantly weaving around the flower petals. I'll go up on this one too. I'm going to pull a little bit of that purple down to create just a darker color. Remember, pink and brown, pink and brown create pink and green create brown. So just so you're aware of that, that can be helpful if you want to create stems. You could just pull in some of that pink and it will create that brown. I'm going to go ahead over here, and on the peonies, they have stems that point out from underneath right underneath their petals, almost protecting them, which I love. So I'm going to go ahead, and then the other stems. Always remember that the leaves of a flower are one of their distinguishing characteristics. You can tell a lot from a flower by looking at its leaves if you're having trouble identifying it. And so a lot of times what I do is I create, making sure those leaves are on there, because it adds a clue of what kind of flower it is. And I think it's just part of their personality. Don't you? I think the leaves are just part of them. I got some sunflowers the other day for the painting boot camp, and they had taken off all of the leaves, which was fine. I didn't realize till I was in the car, but the leaves of sunflowers are so defining. And so I like having those leaves as part of their personality. Okay, so you can see I'm just adding in some more pink here. Now I am going to go ahead, because I'm still doing a big focus on pink, I'm going to go ahead over here. Now you might be saying, you know what, I am not a big fan of the pink. We're going to go ahead and choose a different color palette on our other one. See, and I'm just dipping in some of that magenta here. So we're getting all sorts of gorgeous colors, which is really a lot of fun, and letting them dance. And of course I can come back if I want to after and clean up with a pen. I can also change it up by using a smaller brush. So this is a size, I think this is, oh, it's faded, as my brushes do. I believe this is a size 4, if I am correct. And using a smaller brush definitely can help with some sense of control, a different look as well. So I'm going to go ahead here. I'm leaving a white spot in the middle for the face of the flower. But I have that permanent pink, which is, I call it that perfect spring pink. And over here as well, I'm moving this in. And we're just going to keep doodling. Now, normally too, if I'm just doing this for myself, I'm probably going to be taking my time. I don't know how fascinating it is to watch me do all of these, right? So I'm moving along pretty quick here and then adding some pink to my peonies here. Now, I am going to go ahead and grab some green, pull some green down with those stems here and then up and around. And you're going to see it's coming along. It is coming along. Now I'm going to back up here. And on the other side here, now let's just say I didn't want so much variety. Maybe I just wanted to create, we're going to do this one. We're going to do all, we're going to do blue. We'll do blues. And I'm not even going to sketch. Well, maybe I'll sketch a little bit. What I'm just going to sketch over here is, once again, I am going to create that sense. I'll have a couple of, I'm just going to sketch the middle. So I'm going to separate them out like this, and then I'll start filling in the flowers. And so these are their faces, and maybe I'll do a bigger one here, right? Just to change it up a bit. And maybe I'll do a plant, one of our plant leaves over here. And you know what? I don't have a brush on that one, so we're just going to go like this. And we will create a beautiful stem, and I think I might even make it blue. That would be fun. And again, I'll do a bigger one over here, and making sure you can see that. Okay, and coming in, and then over here, what I'll start to do is I've got my blue, and I will go ahead and start working out. And these are going to be some very beautiful little flowers that I saw at my mom's place. I was walking up the path to where she lives, and they were so sweet. There were bunches of these sweet little flowers. They were not daisies. I need to put them on my little plant app and figure out what they are. But we're just, again, see, very rhythmic, very cute, very happy, right? A totally different color with the blue. And moving around like this. And also, depending on what you want to do, how long you extend those petals will show a lot of that flower's personality. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to actually do 2 more, so we have 5 of these guys. And then we'll go ahead and move on to another one. And I'm coming just about straight out on all of these, letting the shape of the brush really direct me. And then for a couple of them, I'm creating that sense of a curvature. Not for all of them though. If you feel like you want some more depth, just dip your pen or your brush back into the paint. And we're going to do one more right up here. I didn't do my little dot, but that's okay. We'll just make it go all the way around, and hopefully you can see. You can. Good, good. Making sure you can see all of this. So you can see even now just a very different look, and this is really fun to do. You could fill up an entire sketchbook all summer long of just the flowers you're seeing or the flowers that come into your mind and all the different ways we can create them. Now, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab a different blue from my other palette. So on this palette over here, you can see that I have a phthalo blue here. That's more of a cool blue. And I also have a purple, which I'm just going to mix some of that blue into the purple. And I have a cerulean blue as well. So all of these are going to be really, really nice. And this is a lighter blue. I'm going to grab that lighter blue as well. And I'm going to go ahead on these larger ones and start creating almost like a sunflower in shape with the beautiful pointed leaves. And just make sure I don't touch my other flowers because I don't want that color to bleed in. I'm going to make sure I touch. The nice thing about the circle, it gives you a landing mark, because a lot of times I'm horrible at figuring out, okay, where does my circle start? Where does that center start? So just having the center there, I can do a lot more with the flower. It almost looks like a zinnia, doesn't it? A zinnia or a sunflower-esque type of flower, but we're doing it with some blue leaves. I'm going to move some of my color inside Not everywhere because I don't want it to look flat, and we'll certainly add a little bit of purple or darker blue so you can really see the color. And I'll go ahead and create a ring around that flower. That looks really nice. Now if you wanted to at this point even grab, let's say we wanted to grab a little purple, because this is all purple and blues, and just dip, and all of a sudden you start to see that dark color. Isn't that fun? That's really, really pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to, let me see what our time is at. Okay, we're about 15 minutes, and you guys know I like to keep these less than 20 minutes. So let's do another flower that we could create. I'm thinking too, if we wanted to do another one that I really love, and I'm going to use my other blue, is I really love the flowers that almost have like a double petal, right? It's almost like a heart shaped, and it's everywhere. So over here, and then over here, and then over, and they're almost overlapping each other. And those are really sweet. And I'm intentionally leaving a blank here because that beautiful sense of, you know, most flowers, if you look at them, they're not perfect, right? There's all these different shapes to them. So I'm gonna probably in the center, I'll put a little spot of yellow or maybe a spot of pink. Okay, so then I'm gonna come back over here. So we've done, I think, a few more than five different flowers. So once again, we're almost doing like a sense of a loose heart and just moving that around. And then I'm gonna do another one, kind of a fat heart, because at the bottom, I'm not doing the pointy, right? And then down here, another one. And then I could even, if I wanted to do one that was hiding back here, and I'll just do the tip of it. And I can extend this guy out just a little bit more and extend this side too. So you can start to see there the different colors. Now what on this side, I'm gonna grab my gamboge, or if you have an orange, a gamboge is almost like a really nice, it's like a blend of the cadmium yellow and red. And it's a little bit on the opaque side. I really, really like it. It's a fun color to use for sunflowers too. And so perhaps I just want to start dipping right in here. I want to just put, on all my little guys, I'm going to dip this guy in. And that starts to give it a little bit of a different look, right? Now this over here, I'm going to mix green and blue. So we have a really nice blue-green stem, and come over here. And see how that's much darker than here, just simply because I added one of the blues. And I'm going to pull it all the way down. Now if I wanted to, I could certainly add some yellow. And I've changed the leaves up a bit. I can make them a bit rounder. But I'm going to keep this one a little bit darker, I think. And then once again, bringing this up, these leaves. And I think here, I might even, if I wanted to, I could even create that a flower right there. I am gonna, on these guys, on this, I'm gonna go ahead and add a leaf over here. And I'm gonna put another leaf where there was gonna be a flower, but I'll put a leaf here and even right here. So my bigger flowers, I'm gonna go ahead and add some leaves. Now I can make this into a flower on the leaf, which I think would be fun, or I can even move it over a little bit and make it like another one of these flowers, which would be fun too. I'm gonna grab that gamboge again, and I am gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna dab that in there. I got a little bit too much, that's okay. I'm gonna use a dry brush and just soak some of it out. It'll blend a little bit, and that's fine too. Then coming back over on this side, and then what I'll do is I can just start playing on this and adding in more color. So I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna add some more pink. If I wanna add a little bit of blue to the pink to make it darker, I can do that. But just creating a sense of depth with more color. And we'll continue to work on these, and it will end up, again, an hour or two later, depending on whether that hour is consecutive or if it's an hour that I have done over the course of a couple days, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, maybe before work or after work. You know, it's a wonderful way to create a beautiful, beautiful pattern. And you can get, again, you can do monochromatic. If I wanted to do like on this one, I have all pink. You could certainly do pink leaves. I've seen that too, where it is all variations of pink or blue or yellow, or do one in all sorts of colors. But fun way to enjoy a summer hobby, right? And create really beautiful patterns. And you can use these for a number of things, or even as just a way to journal and create memories for this lovely summer that we're having. So I hope you have enjoyed being a part and getting some ideas for doodling flowers. We've done peonies, we've done tulips, we have done beautiful daisies that I've made up in my mind. We've done stems, and we've done all sorts of different flowers over here as well. And again, this guy, ooh, it really started to leak, but that's okay. I'm just gonna gently touch it up, and we'll add in some more blue when it dries, and it's gonna be really, really lovely. So the start of beautiful doodling. I would love to see your doodling. Drop me a picture of what you're doing. You can email me at melissa@thecreativeseason.com, or leave a comment below and tell me what you are working on this summer, because I would love to see your creations. Remember, it's all about just having fun and expressing your creativity, getting off the internet, right, a little bit, getting off of just watching other people do things and doing them for ourselves, which is so, so, so important. So I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day, and I will see you here again very, very soon. Take care.